Look at my body, facing straight forward. For our basic backhand framework, first, what should everyone learn? First, you must know your own positioning. This backhand stance is primarily to ensure that when we practice the backhand, what about it? The ball striking position is accurate. Actually, everyone needs to learn one thing in backhand. It's called sealing the ball, blocking the ball or blocking the ball. What do we use to block the ball? Let me give you a demonstration. Everyone, look at this position. Are there any changes? Now I will hit 2 backhands for everyone, take a look. When I generate power for a forehand, look where my power execution position is. It is at the front right of my body. Look at my power position, the contact point. But where is my backhand power Everyone, point? Please observe. My backhand power point is directly in front of my body. Meaning for the forehand, I must clear that space. But for the backhand, we cannot move chaotically, clearing space to the back or side. So we must seal the ball. What do we use to block and seal it? Use our left leg to seal the ball. What do we use to block the ball? Use our body to block the ball, meaning for the incoming ball from the opponent. We basically need to achieve one thing. Face the ball squarely. This way. See? I can still generate power, right? If the ball reaches my left side, the left back side, look, I'm jammed. So the contact positions for FH and BH are different. FH is front right, BH is directly in front, meaning their stances are also different. For BH, keep both feet relatively level. A slightly forward left foot is fine too. Please, never stand with your side wide open like this. If you do, your backhand will never be good. The backhand position follows 3 points. The first point is ourselves. The second point is what? It's our racket. And the third point? It's the ball. Meaning we must take ourselves plus the racket, plus the ball and form a straight line. If you miss one, failing to form that straight line, then your backhand power will have flaws. Whether it's a banana flick, a short touch, backhand punch. Look, I'll demonstrate a few simply. See if they look like this. This is the overall backhand framework. Watch me learn a backhand banana flick. Look at where my contact point is. Look where my contact point is. And then let's look at mid to long distance backhand looping. Backhand looping down. See? My striking position. So you see, this is the principle of 3 points. With no line, your backhand will always have power. Okay, that's point now, since we must follow this benchmark of 3 points in one line. IT restricts 2 issues. First, our footwork. If we just finished a forehand shot, or are in the middle position, having just finished a backhand, and we need to move toward our backhand. Move toward my left side. When moving, which foot is the most critical? Use the left foot to find the ball. Why use the left foot to find the ball? But the opponent serves to the backhand side. For me, what is the biggest difficulty? What is it? Look, this is a case where the ball and racket could form a line, but my person isn't behind them, right? So how can I use the left foot to seal the ball and the person to block it? I must move my left foot over, look. Do you see that feeling? Take another look. Look again, see? My left foot moves over, sealing the ball with the leg. My body is squared to the ball. The first point to note, when moving our feet toward the left, learn to use the left foot to seal the ball. Block the ball. What else must we learn? It's our racket starting point, right? Since we must achieve 3 points in a line, first, the racket and the person must basically form a straight line facing forward. So our backhand starting point is also directly in front of the body. Everyone, look. One backhand, quick flick. See? I'm directly in front of my body. Many of our friends learn your erroneous movements. Sometimes you do this. ... It feels like a general drawing his sword. Pull your racket and arm out from the side, meaning your starting point is at the far side of your body. A bit off center is fine, but you cannot place it entirely outside the body. Everyone, look, see? Actually, this is a common backhand error for many friends. See, friends? Look. Including pen hold as well. Just like before. You can't do this either. You can't generate power like that. Place it directly in front of your body. Then face the incoming ball squarely. 3 points in a line. Look at the pen hold. Backhand flick. When we learn backhand banana flick, quick, flick, punch, or loop, besides having the correct contact position, what else must we learn? We must learn the framework of power execution. First, for any advanced technique, you must first learn the backhand drive counter hit. The backhand motion, right? For our backhand motion, what should we pay attention to? What? For many people, your banana flick has problems. Everything in backhand has problems. Check if you have this framework. What does framework mean? First, the direction of power generation. It must go toward the bodies. Front right. Front right. Actually, many friends will have this situation. See? He will perform this movement. What movement is this? It feels like moving from back right to front left. This is completely wrong. We must go from back to front right, or back left to front right. Right front, right front, right front. See? Front right, front right. Second, what else should everyone know? Many backhand issues fall into two categories. The first is pushing. Look everyone, this is the first issue. It's a push-push. What's wrong with that? When counter-hitting, it doesn't feel like looping much. Or performing a quick flick. Why? Because all backhand power comes from what? It's not a direct back to front pushing force. It's absolutely not a push. You need rotation to have power, to have friction and an arc. You can't get power just by pushing. ... It means your isn't on your fingers, point. Wrist or forearm. Where is it then? It's on your upper arm and elbow. Look, when I push, what am I pushing with the elbow? Look. Right? It's the same for many penhold friends. See? He is pushing forward to generate your elbow joint, whether in hitting or serving. The elbow primarily serves one purpose: fixation, governing direction. When we serve, if I use the elbow to generate power, can this ball be served well? Can a hook serve be good using the elbow for power? No. Same for hitting. Using the elbow won't work. We must learn elbow as the axis. The elbow joint acts as the bearing. Then the forearm drives the upper arm, performing a abduction and external rotation. It's not a straight back to front, square pushing motion. So everyone, please learn. Do not push with the elbow. If you form an elbow pushing framework, all your final power will depend on pushing. Depend on the elbow. And you can never truly generate power with the elbow. That's the first type, even if your power execution is correct. But if you form a winged elbow lifting elbow motion, this is common for many friends. A winged elbow has two causes. First, your power sequence. The stroke sequence is wrong. Our stroke sequence should start where? Start from the racket, fingers, wrist, forearm. This top-down sequence, a sequence from racket to upper arm, gradually moving out, meaning I led with the racket, fingers, wrist, forearm, which then drives a bit of the upper arm. Meaning, look, if the racket won't go, use fingers. If fingers won't go, use the wrist. If the wrist won't go, drive the forearm. If the forearm won't go, drive the upper arm. It is a process like everyone, see that? My power makes it obvious to everyone. That's my primary power source. is concentrated on the forearm, fingers, and wrist. So you absolutely must fix your elbow. Never lead with the upper arm. If you lead with the upper arm, the forearm cannot release. Learn to use the leading fingers, wrist, and racket. To move then the upper arm stays relatively fixed. Then you won't have this winged elbow or lifted arm. You must know your stroke sequence. What goes first? Who's first? Who's second? That's point one. Another cause might be that when you are preparing a T, the starting point, the distance between your upper arm and body is simply too large. If you want to fix this, I suggest practicing like this. Make a fist with your non-playing hand. Tuck it into your armpit. Tuck it in. Then let your upper arm rest naturally. But don't leave a gap either. Just rest it naturally. The distance of one fist. Alright, look. I'm maintaining a one fist distance. Executing the movement. See that? Do you think my backhand now will still have this hugging clamping issue? Too tight. I'm just pushing. The angle between the upper arm and body is critical. If you fear losing control, I'll teach you what to do. Put it all inside. Grab your sleeve. That basically controls your upper arm, right? Practice this way. The more you want power, where does it come from? Forearm, fingers, and wrist. Power from here. Look. See, friends? Look at me now. This fixes the issue of the angle between your upper arm and body. Now, with those foundations, for friends starting to learn, one suggestion, many ask, when should I use fingers and wrist in backhand? While fixing or changing movements, should I use the wrist? Let me put it this way, the wrist must be used. It must move. It's impossible to keep it completely still. Look, I'm ready. If my wrist doesn't move at all, does this look right? Look, no wrist movement. Only the forearm. Does it look right? It's not correct. Same for penhold backhand. If I don't move the hand at all, is it right? It is not right. That is equally wrong. Wrong. So how should we master the degree of wrist movement? It's critical. I'll describe this degree to you. First, the wrist moves, but not intentionally. Because the process of finger or wrist rotation is for what? For power generation, creating force, spin, and an arc. It doesn't have much to do with simply hitting the ball for counter hitting. So, look at the head of the racket. The racket head position relative to your wrist and forearm. Look, basically, they remain close to a straight line, meaning whichever position the forearm points to, the racket head also follows that position as much as possible. Meaning my wrist movement follows my forearm movement. It isn't an independent, extra flick, and your wrist doesn't need to flick for power. Move, but not for power. Don't move intentionally. Look, my wrist is actually moving now, but my movement doesn't involve independent flicking. I'm following the forearm. Same for penhold backhand. Fixed following. Follow, 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 follow. But I can't drag it or flick it independently, meaning the wrist must move, but not with intentional flicking. Move with the forearm. This way, you won't have the wrist inside upon follow through, nor do you worry. Following the movement is fine. Alright, to summarize, for backhand framework, first, basically parallel stance. The contact position is directly in front of the body, forming ball, racket, and body, 3 points in a line. And our racket's preparation point must be in front of the body, not at the side. No drawing of a general's sword. Next, the angle between the upper arm and body is one fist's distance, a relatively appropriate distance. And the stroke movement is fingers, wrist driving forearm, then driving upper arm. Upper arm doesn't go first. Forearm, wrist, and racket go first. This way. This is the basic backhand framework.